Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beauty Queens Galore, your pageant resource. We are hosting another Instagram Live today. We are actually going to be talking with Kristen Ayers. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. We'll ask her once she gets in here. But she is going to be hopping on here in just a minute, and we are going to be talking with her. She is actually the pageant director for Prime Pageants. So we are super excited to be chatting with her today. We're going to wait for her to jump on. Make sure you guys put any questions that you have for Kristen in the comment section. We're so excited. Hello, guys. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Miss Texas Prime. Oh my gosh, so exciting. I'm so happy that you guys are here to, talk about your pageant system and start getting to know it. Hello. Welcome in, guys. Okay, I see that Kristen just requested, so we're going to add her to the live here. Should be popping on here. Hello.
It's my other, let's reverse it. There we go. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so big now. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
You're totally good. Turn up my
Good, yeah.
Awesome. I'm so excited to be talking with you today. And I must ask before I continue, am I saying your last name correctly?
Oh, yeah. Ayers.
Ayers. Okay.
Super easy.
Good. I was like reading it and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I say this? But all right.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for having me today because it really is important for us to get to know who's new coming into pageantry, right? And what we're trying to accomplish, why we're here. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to just talk about Prime and why we're different and how we're different and all of the, all of the nuances that we want to kind of create within pageantry. It's not saying that other pageant systems haven't been doing a phenomenal job. It's just there's room for everyone. So yeah, It's kind of our approach.
I love that so much, and I am so excited to have you here as well. I'm just going to go ahead and jumpstart, introduce everybody again, just in case they're coming in. So hello, everybody. My name is Heidi, and I am with Beauty Queens Galore, your pageant resource, and we are talking to Kristen Ayers today, owner of Prime Pageants. And I don't know if you know this, but this is actually our first conversation with a pageant director. So we're like super excited today to be jumping into this and talking with you. So I just wanted to jump off right off the bat, and you are also a current title holder, correct? Or are you not?
Yeah, so what we did with Prime is we had the directors actually become queen directors as well. So we are going to, it's a lot more transparent of a system than you would normally have with a hierarchy. We're new, so we can start out small and keep it super intimate. So that's kind of what we've done. So as a queen director, I'm wearing a crown. It's a pretty nice one, to be honest. Wow. Yes, there's a lot happening in this thing. And I have my own sash as well. And so we are embodying what we want our state pageant holders and eventually what our national pageant holders for this year in 2022, what we want to see from them, what kind of who we want them to be in public, as well as how they're showing up within Prime. That's kind of why we do that. So that's why you're seeing me with the crown as well. We wear we're doing dual responsibilities.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I was wondering when you mentioned that, is kind of how do you balance both of those responsibilities, being a title holder as well as taking on that responsibility of the director position? How do you kind of like balance those two?
Yeah, well, you use your past pageant experience and what you want to put forward with your own platform. We call them a focus. So I have my own focus that I dive into, but I also am managing all of the back end. What I like about that is, if we can keep respect between everyone that comes into the group. And I want to talk about that because we are actually a mastermind as well. So we're together all year. You don't have to join a year in advance. We welcomed state queens every single week. But you might be together for a full year. So I think with that, I have to make sure I can get the feedback really quickly from what's working, what's not working, what they need, the state queens, what they need from us. But I'm also showing them, okay, your focus, what you're doing, great. See what I'm doing, and go from there. That part I really like about it. And I wanted to say that, Prime, when we started, we didn't want to just be another pageant system. So we're the first ever personal improvement, self-care pageant system, not self-maintenance, which is important too, but self-care. And we have a mastermind. So every single week, the state queens are getting a lot of, they can lean in. They don't have to do the weekly calls, but the weekly calls might talk about mindset, how to use their title. That's the biggest thing. We don't want you to just win the national competition. We want to work and groom you now on how to use it now to get as much as you can out of it, just in case you don't win. So that's our mission there.
That is amazing. And I really like that approach of, teaching these queens how to utilize that title and moving forward with that, and also just bettering their own selves, which is totally amazing. I love that so much. So all of that goes into when they are titles holders. So what is it that you guys really look for in a title holder in a pageant? What is it that you guys are looking to see?
Yes. So I love this question because we are not a traditional beauty pageant system. However, we like to make sure we don't take the fun part out of the traditional pageant system. So we would love for you to still get your headshots done and do photo shoots. We've given, at our first launch party, we had a free photo shoot that we gave all the state queens. We actually had a photographer at our East Coast launch party. We're calling them launch parties, but every single year we're going to be doing queen parties, West Coast, East Coast, here in Ohio and the Midwest, to just give the queens an opportunity to step into that title and really find a way to bond with each other way before nationals. So the national title still there. We're still doing interview. We're still doing costume, although it's a little unique the way we do it. And then we still have evening gown. However, the big major difference is one of the only things we are looking for as a state title holder applicant is that you are willing to come in, be very honest with your journey of whatever you want to work on for you. So I think with pageantry, it's very easy to get lost in the idea of helping and serving the community and doing all the wonderful things. And that's great. But we can't pour from an empty cup. And so the self-care part of it, which what we've seen from a lot of women of all ages, all adult ages, because we don't do anything under 18, we're juggling a lot and we're trying to figure out our own path and where we're going to, survive and thrive. And so I feel like if we can just step back for just a minute, set some goals for ourselves, and then go from there. And what we want to see on an applicant's we only ask like 3 questions, and they're really important questions. What do you want to do with your title? And what are you personally wanting to work on for you? So from that, say it is, I'm all about women entrepreneurship because I myself am an entrepreneur. So my application might say, I have a few businesses and I would really like for them to thrive. And I really would like to build a better relationship with my community. So when I come into Prime, my focus is going to be, okay, how am I bettering my professional, whatever that is? A lot of women literally have a side hustle that is just phenomenal. And so maybe they want to just build on that and they want to show their followers and show the online community as well as their sphere of influence that they have right now, which will obviously expand when you become a state title holder, but what that looks like and the good and the bad so that they can get through the little hiccups that keep them from going, like questioning themselves and can I do this? And God, this is hard. And so to just see somebody else going through that journey and continuing to do it, that consistency is what breeds a lot of success. And so say, just for an example, that's what they do. They also can branch out into the community and work with other women entrepreneur groups in the community to kind of further that platform and awareness of what resources are available, not only for themselves, but other people as well. So that's why we say we definitely are a service-based organization. We can give out the President's Volunteer Service Award for all of our queens. But we definitely want you to start on yourself and make sure you're good. Figure out what you need, whether it's social, spiritual, professional, practical. Maybe you are a mess just because your environment is a mess and you need to just take a second and organize your life, right? Physical, emotional, mental. I mean, you don't have to pick all of them. You just pick something that really you want to see growth in for you. And then we go from there. We give out the Personal Improvement Visionary Award. It's a brand new award. And we're really excited because you literally are getting rewarded for the things that are just supposed to happen for you. And you're supposed to make sure you do all of these things. But in reality, it takes a lot of energy and mental exhaustion sometimes to maintain all of this stuff. And just to give yourself a little credit for being able to maintain everything that you're trying to do. That goal setting, though, is the first thing we work on with every single queen. It's the most important thing because if you're going to do the competition, you need to make sure that you're understanding your why, understanding the possibilities of what you have to give up and what resources you should be putting in. And then when you win, you gotta have a plan on what happens next. And we even have a mastermind on what happens if you lose, right? And we do that way in advance so that if you're like, oh, I actually could lose this thing, I better use my state title as much as I possibly can so that I feel like I can celebrate the person I've become by nationals. So that's always what we say. Listen, we want you to work on you. We'll support you. We have accountability groups. We're so different in that vein with all the other pageant systems where we really do want you to come in and meet each other and get to know each other and lean on each other, support each other. And as a director, that's kind of why we're queen directors as well, because we want you to know we're here. You know, it's a safe space. And so at nationals, my thing is I keep talking about it almost every single week is if you aren't celebrating what you have accomplished, win or lose, you've done something wrong. We've done something wrong because that's not the main objective. Obviously, the prize package is great and there will be a winner. But the reality is there are going to be people that are standing first runner-up, second runner-up, and so forth. And so we want everyone to get as much as they can out of their lives. That's the main focus of Prime.
Yeah,
long-winded. Sorry.
No, I love literally everything. And I know the comments here, like everybody is really digging what you guys are saying and what everything is about. Oh, got a little buffering there. Hopefully it'll ease itself out here. But I mean, everything about Prime Pageant so far is just amazing. I love her slogan of can't pour from an, it's so awesome. Looks like we are buffering. We should be hopefully coming back on in a second here. Let me know if you guys can still hear me or if it's, oh, okay. All right. I think Kristen will be coming right back on here in a second. We got some buffering, internet issues, but that is just so amazing. I love the support system, the, just camaraderie of all of it, and having people to lean back on is so important. So Kristen is coming back on here right now. Okay, you can hear me. Great. Thank you so much. All right, here she is. She's coming back on. Oh, internet problems are so annoying. There we go. I hear you. I see you. You're good. Oh. There we go. Can you hear me?
Good?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. You are back. You are good. All right. I was just talking in the comments about how amazing the support is, the sisterhood aspect of it, and really leaning on learning more about yourself, and that inner, working on your inner self is so important, and congratulating yourself is so important. So I was just talking in the comments with everybody about all of that, which is amazing. So it kind of brings me into, I love that phrase that you used of you can't pour from an empty cup. And you guys have another phrase on your Instagram bio. it says, be seen, heard, and become your best self. So what does that really mean to you? And what does that mean for Prime Pageants, that whole slogan there?
Yeah. Yeah. So we aren't looking for perfect. There's no height requirement. There's no weight requirement. We're not looking for blondes with blue eyes. We're not looking for a particular dress type. We're not looking for a particular nonprofit angle. We're literally just looking for someone who comes in, has some goals for themselves, then is meeting those goals or figuring out what's wrong. They're tweaking it. 20% of their score will come from their focus statement, which literally is, here was my goal. Here's how I was trying the first few months and it was working, and this is what I accomplished. Here's my qualitative and quantitative part of that goal. I crushed this, but man, this was really tough. And this is what I learned about myself throughout this process. And this is the support that I needed that I didn't think I needed. And here's how I got it done. And that's kind of what we're looking for. Or I didn't get it done. And this is what I really need to work on, I think, to really be able to get that done. And so it's interesting because we have a lot of eclectic looks so far for the queens. Nice. It's not your traditional pageant look. And I love that because I want everyone to just stay in their lane. Tell your story, stay in your lane. Don't worry what anybody else is doing. Here are the requirements as a state queen. But outside of that, do you. Don't worry about the competition because you're pretty much in competition with yourself, especially before nationals. It's just all you. And so these women are coming together, and we're starting to realize we just had our East Coast party, and it was at Myrtle Beach. Woo! Oh and so South Carolina.
So fun. I love
You're
that.
on delay of it. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That
it was. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so we're sitting around, we're talking, and we're not just talking about the weather. I mean, we're really talking about, the issues that we're having with each other, not with each other, the issues we all are having in our own lives. And I found that all of these women, short, tall, big, small, big hair, brown hair, whatever, like the outsides are so different, but the insides, we were all seeking this happiness and this, satisfaction and purpose. And it was all tying everyone together in such a beautiful way that is the mission of Prime, to be bringing people together and bringing people up, and giving them an opportunity to recognize that they can be leaders. They have to take it. They have to be able to take the opportunity and do what they can with it. And we're not asking them to cure cancer. We're asking them to just work on themselves. And what's really interesting to me is, I'm a very goal-driven person. I've always been that way. Let's figure out what needs to be done, and let's write out like 20 pages of like an action plan and execute. And that's just kind of how, and then when you fail, because I fail all the time, let's figure out what happened and let's make it stronger and make it better. And who do we need to bring in to do that? And so with this, I'm recognizing that a lot of the times it's just the start. You have to start with a goal. What does that look like? We have a whole mastermind on just breaking down a goal. And once you start doing it, things in your life, even if it's not a prime goal of prime focus that you have, it's still working in other parts of your life. So that's kind of what we mean by, we'll give you the platform to be seen and heard. Now you have this state title that you can do anything you want with, depending on what you want to do with it, not what we want to see, but what you want to do with it. And then you're becoming not the person to your left, not the person to your right. I don't want by nationals every single year for us to be like producing the same person on the outside. I want everyone to just have a moment to work on themselves and become that best version. That's what that means to us.
That is amazing. And, I love that so much. I love that you guys show that every day. I mean, it's in your Instagram bio. It's out there for everybody to know and really embrace, which is amazing. So my next question is, us at Beauty Queens Galore, we're a pageant resource. So as a director and as somebody, as the involvement of Prime Pageants, what is something that you want to see from us in the future and from the pageant community in the whole in the future?
As a pageant source?
Yeah, as a pageant resource, is there anything that you really want to see more of from, as pageant resources or the pageant community as a whole?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When I say I stay in my lane, I stay in my lane. I would like for our concept to be embraced, and because I know we're less of a beauty pageant and there's space for that. But to give all types of pageants a chance, because there's a ton of women who want this, who are seeking this, and to be able to just get the word out there that there is something different if they choose to do it. They don't have to. And if they want to put in the work, we're definitely a pageant system that will embrace them. So just all the support that you can give is what I would love to see. But as a resource, I would really like for women to just be as transparent and deep as they possibly can be. Because I think we have a lot of tutorials, I know, on makeup and what dress to wear, and that's very important. But I also think that if this is going to be a platform in the future for women to be leaders, we need to make sure that they are 100% working on the woman inside and not in any type of stereotypical, vain way, but really becoming confident individuals and standing on their own in the skin that they're in right now. So sure, they're on some type of journey, and maybe they will lose weight eventually, and maybe they will, whatever. But right now, to be comfortable in their self-worth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That to me is, we need to really talk about self-worth more. That has nothing to do with our body type or how pretty the picture was. And to be highlighting who the woman is outside of their particular prettiness, if that sums that up. Because,
yes,
for me,
amazing. I love everything.
Yes,
I'm like, yes.
I was really shocked when I first got into pageantry of how unbelievably successful most pageant women are. And if you talk to someone outside of pageantry, you would think that everyone just has a pretty headshot and this pageant thing is a very, just ancillary thing to do with your life. And they must not have anything else going on for them to decide to do this pageant. But in reality, women are super competitive, mostly in a positive way, I would say. And they push themselves all the time. They're the first ones to point out their flaws and try to work on them. I don't see men doing that much, to be honest. And so we can take those positive qualities in women and we can make sure that we're putting them into daily life so that they're not just working on prepping for a national pageant, which, by the way, if you've never done a pageant, this is a great pageant system to be involved in, because we are starting our national prep now so that if you don't have money for a pageant coach, that we can at least give you all the basics if you've never done a pageant. And we take out a lot of the things that are complicated in the pageant system so that you can get up on stage. And again, worry about the celebration more than all the things, like the no dance routines, no swimsuit. We took that out. No onstage question to stress sweat over. We just wanted it to be more of a celebration. So I'm long-winded, but I have a lot to say on this because, I have a ton of degrees. Mm-hmm. But I can also take a really pretty picture, and I should be able to do both.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody, everybody that I've met in the pageant community is so accomplished and so amazing. And everybody outside of the pageant community doesn't ever really think about that or realize it. And it's insane. So I love that so much. So my next question to you is more about, being a director. So what kind of advice would you give someone who is interested in becoming a director? And what is maybe something that you wish you would have known when you first started that you know now?
Okay. This is a really big question. So, so director is a title. And a title just means that you are probably managing someone. Some titles don't, come with management, but you're going to be managing people and you're going to be a leader. And a lot of the times, I think it starts from the top down. In any organization, a pageant system is just a company. That's all it is. And I know there's mystique around it, but it literally is just a company. And so there's different companies, and every single company has their own mission, their own infrastructure or lack thereof. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff in that corporation or company or just organization that you really need to research first. But then you have to recognize, okay, who are you going to be working with? What do they expect from you? How does this organization already function? Where do I fit into it? And so what I would look for is a culture where the people are worth working for, you like working with them, and the work that you're actually going to be doing is work you want to be doing. So if you're going to be talking about this organization all the time, you better be super aligned with their mission and what they're pushing and what they appreciate and what they want to see from you. And then that always trickles down, I think, into what you are wanting to see from your state queens and then your, smaller, preliminary type pageants that you have. I mean, the trickle down really does happen. And eventually you kind of get a persona of what type of person and what they expect. And then it goes back up. And so it's interesting that some pageant systems would love to change their overall image, but it's very hard to do it because they have so many people that have been involved with the organization and presently involved all over the nation and internationally that it's just really hard for them to take out swimsuit. And, it's just hard for them to change. So I would say if you want to be a director, think about your leadership style because you should have one. Think about who you want to work with and how you want to do this. And really think about, is this something you really want to do? And to me, please don't have money be the driving factor, because I think it's different for every single pageant system. This is obviously the first directorship role I have had, but I do know that I have heard in other organizations that, if they have a culture and you're coming into it, they almost feel like, you're not going to change a thing. You got to respect the culture that's already there. Mm-hmm. So that's the advice I would say is do a lot of research first, then make the move.
Yeah. And that's amazing advice. Making a big step like that is something that you should be 100% ready for and invested in for your own personal, ideas and own personal passion, not just for the title or for whatever sort of compensation comes with that. Right. So that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. I think maybe my last question to you is really, what is the future for Prime Pageants and what is the vision that you want to set forth into the future? I know we kind of talked all about it, but really what do you want to see for Prime Pageants down the road, 5-10 years, whatever it is? What are you looking at down there?
Yeah, so my main mission is to make sure that our mission doesn't change. Mm-hmm. And as big as we get, that we can handle still a very intimate opportunity for women to come in and still feel safe, still feel like it's not just about the national pageant competition part of it, but that they really don't lose sight of why they signed up in the first place. And that's just to be a better version of themselves, first and foremost. That is always going to be the most important thing. I mean, this is our first year. So the concept is super brand new, probably not accepted 100% by the industry yet. And I get it. But we've had 35 queens sign on in a very short amount of time. And we still are open until July 1st. We still can take applicants every single week. All you have to do is fill out an application online, upload a headshot. I don't care if it's a pageant professional headshot, just something that shows when you're happiest. That's all I care about. And then we take applications every week. On the weekends, we do a video chat. We talk and drill about like just, why you really want to do it. Make sure that intention is right there and then get you started. And we have until July 1st. And so, I was thinking maybe we'd have 25 queens by July 1st. We already have 35. So I think women are hungry. I want to just be able to be a platform, a safe space for women who want to do a pageant, even if it's one and done, even if you're not a pageant girl, even if this is like, I'm going to have an identity imposter syndrome crisis, but it's okay because I'm just going to do this because I want to work on myself. And for once in my life, I want to have the spotlight. I want to have a chance to have a microphone for the voice I already have. And that's what we want. We want to just embrace the concept, embrace the women that come in. And 5 to 10 years, I kind of would like this to grow as much as it can and for us to impact the industry. Doesn't mean there won't always be, it doesn't mean there can't be room for a straight beauty pageant. I mean, the Cosmos pageant system is killing it and they're very focused on the physical form, right? We've got a lot of pictures of women in bathing suits, etc. And that's fine, perfectly fine. But to give women a chance to feel beautiful and to have a different definition of that and to start changing it, I think it's very important from the pageantry industry. If we could embrace that, then I think we're in a really good place, and that would make me happy. My heart would be completely full. And to have feedback from the queens 5 years in that this system is changing their life, that would make me cry. We're going to have to talk again, Heidi. You can do a follow-up to see, okay, what happened? How many happy tears did you have?
I know. I mean, I'm definitely going to stay in touch for sure because I love this concept. And I think that it is going to reshape and really take form into this pageant industry and the pageant community in general. Everything is moving in a different direction, which we love. As somebody who competes in pageant myself, I love that direction that everything is heading in. So I see it. I see the future of Prime Pageants, and it is strong, and I love that so much. And anybody's watching and is interested, you have until July 1st. So if you would like to find out more about Prime Pageants, kind of how can they find out more and maybe apply if they are interested?
Yeah, great question. We are oversharers and over communicators. So we have a lot of information online, but we are absolutely available to help you and answer any questions before or after you decide to apply. Our nationals is actually going to be in Orlando, September 15th through the 19th, right outside of Disney. Like our venue, you can actually see the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the venue, which is so cool. I cannot wait. So going to be so magical. Yes. And we're very family friendly. Bring your family down with you. Have it be a mini vacation as well. And so, yeah, you can reach out to us at our website, which is primepageants.com, or you can email us at primepageants@gmail.com. And those are probably the best two ways to get a hold of us. And I'm available to take a call anytime. I love talking about Prime, so I don't mind. We're just all about transparency anyway. So give me a call. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I had such a great time talking with you, and I feel like I've learned so much. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. I truly appreciate you taking the time to get to know us and giving us a platform so that we can get our message out. That means everything to us. If you need anything, you just let me know.
I for sure will. We will definitely stay connected. So thank you so much and have an amazing rest of your weekend. Happy Sunday or happy Easter if you celebrate. And
thank you. I know. Happy Easter. Thank you. Bye. Thanks everyone for listening.
All right, guys, that was amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this little interview with Prime Pageants Director Kristen Ayers. I literally had such a great time talking with her. I hope that you guys really enjoyed the conversation, and I know we have a lot of prime queens here in the chat right now. So thank you guys so much for showing support for, you know, your system, your pageants, and I just love the sisterhood and the camaraderie of all of it. So thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure that you guys hit the follow button here on Beauty Queens Galore and give us a follow. We are going to be doing a lot more lives. We're going to be talking to different queens, different pageant directors, anybody in the pageant industry. So definitely follow us, reach out to us if you have any questions, and we hope to see you here back on our next live soon. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.